Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel, I'm For Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what I do have in it is The Outer Worlds, a game developed by the Obsidian Entertainment, which in case you don't know these guys, these are the guys that did develop the Fallout New Vegas back then. And honestly, which is kind of interesting, many people did enjoy much more Fallout New Vegas than Fallout 4, so here we go. Fallout 4 it is developed by Bethesda, and Fallout New Vegas it is developed by these guys. So these guys decided to create another RPG, which is this game. It is using Unreal Engine 4, and I will be using 720p low settings with 80% of resolution scaling to boost up a little bit the performance and stay over 30 frames per second. Although these are the requirements that these guys ask, it is just a simple E3 from the 3000 generation, 4 gigs of RAM and an Nvidia GTX 650 Ti. So I'm not really sure if this graphic card is superior to the MX130 or not, but what I do know is that with the 80% of resolution scaling with 720p and low settings, what I got it was a pretty good average of 48 frames per second with a 1% low of 31. If you decided to not use resolution scaling, the average it is around 37 frames per second, which is still positive, but when you are in the middle of the grass, or for example in the middle of the city, in the middle of demanding moments, you can expect your game to drop down from 30 frames per second, as my minimum got to 22 frames per second, for example, during tall grass moments due to that transparency. And for example, in the middle of the city, you can expect worse frame rate. I'm not really sure what to expect from the rest of the game, but I'm pretty sure there will be demanding areas, and that's why I do recommend you to go with the 80% of resolution scaling. It might look a little bit more blurrier, but honestly, the performance it is absolutely better. You can simply notice in every moment and every movement that you will do with your character, everything will be way more smoother than not using the resolution scaling. Alright, so as I was telling you, these guys have made Fallout New Vegas before, and so what these guys know and their experience, it was to try to replicate Bethesda core gameplay, because Fallout and Elder Scrolls, they all play more and less in the same way, but you know, different environments and overall different tactics. One is a shooter, other is a melee mostly, but you know, these guys got the hang of the gameplay from Bethesda because they needed to develop they needed to develop Fallout New Vegas, and so the game needed to be like Fallout at the time. And so yeah, they got the hang of the gameplay of Bethesda games, and so this game, the core gameplay, it is a lot Bethesda like. This might not be any Fallout, this might not be as published by Bethesda, but it completely feels like a Bethesda game. This is one of the things that you should know. It feels entirely like a Fallout game. The difference is, again, the ambience, you know, the scenario, the core story, the lore behind this. This is pretty much a mix between kind of a, I don't know, Borderlands maybe? It feels like a Borderlands into Bethesda gameplay developed by Obsidian and using Unreal Engine 4. And honestly, the reviews have been very positive for this game, and so you should really take a look about it. Alright, so guys, that's all that I want to talk about The Outer Worlds. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the gameplay, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Some hull had grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
over here before you get yourself killed. Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. You out of your mind? No way. Once we've dealt with these marauders, I'm hunting that sick freak down. I just, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son. Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. And it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry,